from my perspective with the song, Jessel basically messaged me and Lucas on like a random night on like WhatsApp, and he was like, "Guys, I've got this melody, and for some reason, like I think I need to bring it to you." And I was just like, "Cool." At the time, we were recording in the flat at LTB, at Alan Gevers, and I think you messaged us on the Sunday night, and then we were like, "Yeah, come tomorrow." So you came Monday, and me, you and Lucas got like a demo down. I think we did like a 20-minute demo or something crazy. We just played the song for ages. But yeah, I wanted to know, like, what was your perspective? What was your journey? How did like the song basically manifest for you?
Wow, yes. Thanks everyone for coming, and thanks for the question. If I think back to then, I'd literally just come back from India, and we'd been on a little kind of, in Sanskrit we call it a yatra, which means like a pilgrimage. So you just take a break from life and you just go and you kind of walk every day, you go in the sands and the rivers and everything. And so I came back and I had this melody in my head, and then I was like, the lyrics were there. It's like, you know, I don't know if you have this, where you wake up and you've got like either a lyric in your head, you need to write it down, or you've got like a melody and you need to like voice note it, something like that. It was one of them. So I was like, okay, I've got like a phone full of those, but I was like, this one we need to sort out. So that's when I text you. Then they responded straight away, and then thanks to the space that we had, and literally went into this derelict building. I was like, what's going on? We're going to record something here. There's like water coming down from the ceiling. But he's like, no, we're going to do it. And then we just like put something down, and then, yeah, the rest is history. And then I'm sure we're going to go into from there. But that was it for me. It was me coming back from like a spiritual journey and just having this earworm and just going, right, need this out. And then, yeah, that's cool.
That's nice. That's beautiful. Yeah, Jamal, I wanted to ask you as well. Jamal created like the animation, all the visuals for it, which for me is like mind blowing that someone could do that. And like we sent Jamal the song, and just was like, I know this guy, I've known him for a long time, and we're like, yeah, let's see. We sent Jamal the song, and he made like, what was it, like a 20-second clip or something? Like, I guess it's like the film version of like a demo. And I was like, this looks absolutely insane. Like, get him to do this immediately. And like, that was it. So I wanted to know, like, Jamal, like, what was your feeling when you first heard the song? Did you have anything like intuitively that thought like you could create something for this? Or was it more of like you went into the studio and I don't know what happened? Like, yeah, what was your journey with it?
Okay, so thanks guys for the warm reception. That was really nice. And yeah, so like Jessel said, we go way back. And when he approached me with the song, when I first heard it, I was like, okay, it's different to the type of music videos and stuff I usually do. But it immediately, this is like meditation vibe. This is a different kind of challenge. And what I liked was the opportunity to dive into a different kind of challenge with a different kind of goal, which allowed me to explore the creative process in a bit of a different way. And when I was listening to it, it was like, to me, you know, it was the vibe or the theme I was getting was something about trying to move towards the sun or move towards the light, move towards ascension, transcendence. That kind of energy was what I was feeling from it. And it was the game of, well, what kind of metaphor, how can you tell, visualize that idea rather than tell a specific story, let's say. And where I would say creatively, I'm not an architect, I'm a gardener. I like to just sort of seed ideas and let them grow, nurture them, and the ones that I like are the ones that, I'll put more energy into. And basically the demo was, I need a concept that sort of what tells the idea, but it's also interesting. And I had this idea of this elephant, this African elephant, walking across the ice tundra. And I don't know, sometimes, like Giselle was saying, these things just hit you and you're like, oh, I like that. And it's just a visual earworm, you could say. And some version of that is what I sent to you guys. You guys liked it. I was like, all right, let's just dive into that. And then bit by bit, discovered the main character, the octopus, who I was like, well, he's cute, he's interesting, he's intelligent, he's about his business, going on his journey, and he's trying to move through the different levels, and I like the way he can, a creature that can be in the sea to begin with, then have his time on the land, and then make it above the land, climb up the tree, and sort of have that higher perspective, which is what the end metaphor I was going for. So for me, it was just a really fun, creative endeavor to, you know, visualize something that was really cool and something with a bit of depth, you know? So yeah, I really appreciate just being involved in, you know, a cool project.
So just to give you a little bit of insight into the reaction that we get. So obviously, Ryan and Lucas were saying, oh, well, who could make this video? And I was like, I've got the best guy. Like, don't worry, let's just send him. Let's just see what comes back. And that group call that we had was hilarious because we were just like all beaming, smiling. We're like, oh, I love the metaphor. Yeah, it's like, oh, this creature. This is when we were hooked on the octopus. We were like, yeah, this creature that's in the water that can see the sun, but wants to then reach the surface and then go onto land and then go higher up. And it's like us. Sometimes like we feel like we're in this material world, but we're spiritual beings. And it's like we want to break from that materialism and go. So it was like a perfect metaphor. And we were like, yeah, that's it. And actually, to Jamal's credit, we were like saying, yeah, we want to run with the octopus. And it's like, he was going, it's pretty hard to just keep that same character, like with everything I need to do. It's a lot of effort to get that kind of story going through. And to be fair to Jamal, he like pulled it off and worked overtime to produce what we got. Yeah, we got there. Thank you so much, man.
Definitely. Nice. Lucas. Yeah, Jamal definitely deserves a big round of applause.
Yeah, I mean, some highlights for me. It's funny, I remember me and Ryan were sat in Starbucks in Coventry Town Centre. This was the weekend before, or in the week before we got in contact with Jessel. And I was like, oh, we haven't seen Jessel in some time. It'd be good to connect again. And then like the next day or something, he messaged us like, oh guys, I've been thinking about you. I need to show you this thing that I've conjured up coming from this like sacred place in India, Vrindavan. And then I just remember the first time we got into the studio, it was a very smiley affair. There was a lot of laughing. We were just kind of messing around, and it was just like really good fun. And I think the song like embodies that as well. It's a real, smiley kind of experience. It's been so nice. It's come together really nicely as well. So just grateful to be a part of it and to have had some small contributions. So.
Nice. Lucas was like a fly on the wall. This is a song that's going to be a part of an album. And like Ross and Lucas have been like a massive part of just the whole process over the last year. And Lucas, you've been there for so many of these ideas when they've turned up. And we've managed to like get them over the line in the flat. Ross mixed and mastered the song, added some elements to it, like co-produced it. What was like your experience with it, Ross? What do you take from it?
It was really weird the first time I heard it because I think it's my first time coming into the flat in the LTB, and you walk through the back of the venue, and there's just like mold all over the walls, graffiti. Like literally, you're like, I'm gonna die in here, like that kind of vibe. And then you walk in, and then you play me that, and I heard the flute, and I was like, in here, like you recorded that in here, like what is going on? And I heard it, and I was like, I think we were discussing doing the album. I don't think we'd decided yet, and I was like, yeah, I've got, like, it has to be me, like we have to do this. And then just like flicking through the parts, hearing like how everything came together, because there's so many elements of it, there's so many like vocal layers, and I think it is a really beautiful song, and there's so many I think the best songs kind of breathe, and I think this song breathes in a really nice way. Like there's so many moments, like it's sort of at the start where it gradually rises in, the flute comes in, and then you're like up here, and then it brings it down, then at the end like all of the parts come together and it just creates this massive wall. And it was just really fun to be involved in, and I think this song kind of unlocked a new kind of music for me to listen to, which was really fun. And obviously like meeting you as well, and like going to the studio, meeting you, and you were like, I think I was editing the drums, and you were like, yeah, you've got the drums are like a beat out, and I like didn't know, and I was like, oh, sorry about that. And then it wasn't until we got in the studio with you where I was like, I could see the mix coming together, and then from then it was like, yeah, it was done, and like hopefully, I don't know, it's not ready for me to say, but hopefully I did it justice. But it was maybe my favourite song I've ever worked on, and it was the first song from the album that I heard as well, which was pretty beautiful.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So,
You got to understand also. Sorry, I keep hogging the mic. I'm an MC. Anyway, so we would play the flute. So my wife's in the audience. She doesn't want to come up on stage, but the center of the song is the flute.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
an issue.
So I drag my wife everywhere, and I'm like, play the flute, play the flute, play the flute, play the flute. Right, that. So it's like you got to come on. You got to play the flute here. So we play the flute, but actually, hats off to Ryan for what he did to the flute. I don't know what you did. Like
I didn't know what I did, to be honest. I had like Joe, who's sound engineering. He very graciously left that 8-track recorder in the flat, and we actually recorded the song on that. So it was just 8 channels. So we had to like record like, it's okay, we've used all the channels. So it's like, okay, the first half of this track's going to be this instrument, and the second half's going to be a bit of vocal, and like there's a bit of room on here. So we had to like really like utilize it. And I think there's something to like limitation, because I think like nowadays with like digital recording, it's like endless, and you can like go into everything. But then with that, it was kind of like you guys are only there for half an hour, and it's like we've got to get the part down, and if it's like pure enough and it's clean enough, like it's in, like that's it. And like you bring Nishi the second time, which was like, I thought, I can't believe I'm getting Nishi to come into this building and this flat. But it was beautiful. It was like scary going in, but it was like full of love. So it was like, you don't judge a book by its cover at all. So
it was magic. Whatever you did, however you messed around with it, for the young ones out there, yes, a limitless track. You don't have that with the 8-track. It's like you squeeze, just like you've got to squeeze something out of it. So you got to go, okay, I can only record on this one, only record on this one. Then it's like, okay, what are we going to do? So it has to be good. And then we came back after that first mix. We were in the car going, I don't know what he did to that. It's amazing. Like it's just a touch of magic. So yeah, appreciate you for doing that, man. It's
Thank
nice.
you. I appreciate it. Cool. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone want to? For me, at the time, I was like deep into like a creative mode. Like I stopped going to work and stuff, and I was just like working on the album like every day. So like everything that happened, I was just like, okay, this is like I'm getting guided to do this. So Jessel messaged me about that. I like that kind of music. I like meditative music. I've never been involved in it. I've never actually produced a song for anyone else. So like I didn't know if I could do that. But I was just like, okay, there was like a lot of firsts happening. I only actually taught myself to use that about 3 months before. So I think it's like, that's why it's so raw. But like, I don't know, I think I was just really present in it. And I think I just like knew that I loved what I was doing. So yeah, it was just like a pleasure to be a part of. And like when I listened to it after, I was just like, I couldn't believe it really. But at the same time, I don't really think I did anything. I feel like I was just like a facilitator there. And like it was all these guys, like, I don't think like I'm a great musician, but I appreciate music and I appreciate like that I'm around great musicians. And yeah, it was like a blessing, but it was weird. And like listening to it after, yeah, it was surreal, I think. And like I don't think I'll make a song, I don't think like songs like that come around very often. So yeah, but I'm grateful for these guys. So yeah. Thanks, man. I'm gonna cry. Nice. Is there anything else we want to go over? You got a question?
What was that at the end?
Oh, yeah.
We were like, what was that at the end?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, last year, me and Lucas were on like this spiritual quest, and we made friends. We basically, like, the summer before, we went and stayed in like a monastery in France, and we met just a community. It's like a branch of Hinduism, and we became connected with that, really. Like, it resonated with us, resonated with the music. We made some really good friends in it. And one of them has like a retreat center that is in Lincoln, and he invited me and Lucas up there. And when we went up there was like a monk living there called Rab, who's like some Scottish guy. He's like the most mystical guy you've ever met.
Out, man.
Like,
The
just
actual
like being
manner.
around him was like being in like a float tank. It was wild. He was wild. But basically, me and Lucas stayed with him, and then me and Lucas were just talking about him for ages, and then he actually sent Lucas that on a voice note.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, we'll just sample it and put it on the end of the song. And like, that can be the end of the album as well. So it's Rab the monk. We asked him to come, but like, I don't even know if he still exists. Like, I haven't seen him since. But it's about somewhere.
So it's the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic.
Yeah.
I think Aramaic.
It's Aramaic, yeah. Apparently, Jesus spoke in Aramaic, and the translation of it, that's the original translation, basically, of the words.
You just came out of it off by heart as well.
Yeah, I mean,
we were talking about it and how like scripture changes in translation, and you just said this, and we were like, what? Say that again. And then I asked him to send it on a voice message, and he sent me that, and then it was deleted a couple of months later. So it was good timing that we used it all. Yeah, mystical guy. Yeah, I don't know how he gets about, but it's a shame.
Floats around.
Yeah. Probably teleports.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, at the end. That was from a voice note. But like, yeah, we basically, I don't know how it happened. The song was like mostly there, and there was just like mixing touches. And yeah, I think like during the record as well, it'll make more sense when you listen to that album. But there's a lot of stuff on there from like recording people around me and recording just like rooms I was in, people I was around, and it makes sense with that theme.
So can I just say, when we thought we had the final mix, and then we had that Lord's Prayer at the end in this Scottish accent, I was like, have you found the Highlander? Like, there could only be one. Yeah. And it's like, who is this guy? But it just kind of finished it off really nicely. So yeah, it's a nice touch that you made, man. Again,
we asked him as well. Like we got clearance. We're like, is this okay? And he was pretty happy about it. It was like, yeah, cool. Is there any other questions?
I've got one.
Yeah.
Jason, I know you said you've got voice notes of like ideas you might use, and then there was the one that you really sort of focused on. Just talking to everyone as creatives, really. Are you all like that, or if an idea comes into your head, do you have to act on it?
So everyone. Wow. Okay. So I'll just quickly go. Yeah, I've got a phone full of like one-liners that are like, oh, that's a really good lyric. I might be in the shower and I'm like, I need to get out, and I'll type it into my phone, or I'll say to my wife, write this lyric down, text me it. So I've got all of these. And not all of them manifest, but some of them just like are really there. This is like a message. Like the lyrics on here are, I was singing, you were dancing, we lost ourselves in eternal sunshine. It's like one line. And it's like so universal because the sun is so universal. And I was like, this one needs to manifest. And that, I think you need, it's like that African proverb, isn't it? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And actually, with everyone and all of you as well, then this song can keep going and going and going. So that's my answer. Thank you.
Yeah, I think with ideas that you have to like get them immediately as raw as possible. And I think like, they're basically like, the artist doesn't create anything, like it's the job to be like a conduit for it. And I think like you have to get everything down, whether it's like a line, like a melody, a sketch, a conversation, like anything. Like for the record, we made like over 100 songs. We didn't record over 100 songs, but we like writ over 100. And I just think like, I kind of see it like a flow, kind of like water, and it's something you want to keep moving. And I think like therapeutic, just for like therapeutic purposes, even if like you don't want to share it, you don't want to be a professional, like just for something to do. Like I advise everyone to do something creative, because I just feel like it brings us back to like a calmness. And I think like the more opportunity that we've got to interact with that is the better. So, yeah, I think that's my answer.
I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I feel like I have to fight my ideas for like 3 months until they form like coherent ideas. I've got like spent like 3 years on each of them. Like, I think I've seen the other side of it, of like recording every idea and capturing every idea, and I think that's really important. And I think when we were making the album, it was like the philosophy was like just put every idea down and don't say no to anything. Like, you caught me once, there was like one time on one song where I was like, oh, I don't know about this, and you were like, no, let's record it, and I think we ended up using it anyway. So like it just shows that you've got to like I think the best stuff comes in the moment and by accident. So when something comes by accident, you've got to document that and hold on to it and try and keep the purity of the idea as much as you can. Yeah.
Ross is really humble, by the way. He'll like come and show you a song and he'll be like, I don't know about this. Like, it's doing my head in, and it'll just like be the best thing you've ever heard.
So, as my wife may confirm, I have a like to-do list of ideas that is way too long, way too long. But I think with me, the most powerful ideas normally find a way to draw my attention and find a way to manifest, or, you know, I have to make time for them, otherwise they don't leave me alone. So it's almost my perspective, similar to yours, where you're the vessel kind of thing. I would say where it's a bit of a relationship where there's some ideas that are quite happy to just stay on the to-do list, and then there's other ideas that are like, nah, we need to get this moving, man. This is going to change the world, man. So, yeah. And, you know, you just got to find a balance and find a bit of time to keep everyone happy. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what to say about ideas? I think I've got a list on my phone called like beautiful words and phrases, just full of words and phrases that seem to play some kind of relevance. It's hard to say where inspiration comes from, but when it hits, there's variety in the resonance that it produces. But I like to think that some ideas choose you, and you just become, like this, you're just channeling some kind of energy. But yeah, I'm a bit similar to Jessel in the sense that I really have to like externalize things and get things down as soon as they come. My mind either really catches things or is like a sieve. So yeah, but it's a really important thing to do, I think, as a person, as a means to express your individuality, and that kind of self-expression is really important. So yeah, you kind of do it. Ultimately, you do it for yourself and to keep yourself healthy and to keep yourself sane, because we process so much in the world. We're constantly bombarded by all sorts of things. So it's important that we have periods of release as well, creatively, whatever that looks like. That can be a conversation, that can be, you know, just time spent introspecting, that can be a more evident creative process. But yeah, some thoughts.
Yeah, that's nice. Has anyone else got any questions?
Yeah, aside from the challenge of not dying in the space, and by the way, that was actually the best room in the whole place.
Yeah, Alan hooked me up.
Thank you, Alan. Sorry, thank you.
Alan gave me that room rent free for like 2 years.
No, it sounds
Didn't
so
ask for
painful.
anything.
I'm so sorry, Alan. I don't know who wants to answer this question, but like, what's the hardest part of putting something like this together? You know, what's the biggest challenge that you had that you overcame?
I think personally not doing too much. I think like with anything, you've got the risk of like, oh, if I put a little bit more of this on it, or like, I don't know. I feel like limit's good, and I feel like if you can build a relationship with knowing when enough's enough, that's like the most important thing. Because you could, like I said, with the digital thing, we've got like the possibility now to be like, okay, we can add a synth on, we can add a guitar on, we can do this, we can do that, we can like turn this up a little bit. And I think it's like getting it to a point where it's like clean and crisp enough and like refined, but not like overdone. And I think there's like a very fine line. So that's what I think.
I'll add to that, because when we had the line, because it's only one line really, 2 lines, we were like, what do we do? Like, how do we do we do the classic kind of verse, chorus, bridge, da da da? And then we're like, no, I think we're just going to let it simmer, and it just keeps going back to that line. It's just that one message, and it's just, flute solo, and then that it's just ornamented. So I would agree that it's not doing too much. Just like, that's enough spice.
Yeah. I think it was like the voice helped with that as well. I think like if I was recording it on my laptop, it would have been very easy to overdo it. But because we only had the 8 tracks, it was like once we had a good full track, if you press the record button on like any track, you risk like deleting the whole thing. So yeah, I think it was just that's what happened with it. Yeah, because I think like the whole process was just fun as well. Like I don't think it was really like there was no worry about it. It was just like we loved it and like we enjoyed the whole experience. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Not yet. No.
I think for me, and I think we agree on this, is that the hardest thing with coming to the end of a project, whether it's a song or an album, is just time. Like I think you have to try and complete the projects as quickly as you can to not allow like self-doubt and anxiety and things to play a part in your decision making. I think the more you listen to it and the more you like let it ruminate, the more distorted the idea becomes in your head. And you're also, if you're playing it to too many people early on when it's not ready, you're letting in all these external factors that can change your perspective on what the idea originally was. So I think just getting it done like as quickly as possible, but in a way that every idea in the room is accepted, everyone feels important in the process, and everyone's contributing to the best of their ability. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Anyone to add?
Why didn't we work on the music? So.
But the video, like, can you overplay it or underplay it, or?
So
what's the hardest thing?
Similar. It's the similar thing in the sense where limitation breeds innovation, and with the AI revolution, in the fact that, well, on one hand, you could type anything in theory, get anything out, but then on the other hand, it still struggles with putting 5 fingers on a hand. So it was a case of, exploring, but sort of knowing, all right, this is a good section or a good shot. Let's move on to the next bit, because really we want to get the whole story told and know that we've gone from beginning to end and not run out of budget and things like that. So, similar of just trying to not get lost in all the endless, maybe it's a bigotry, or maybe we have a tiger in the ocean, or maybe you have a crocodile under something. So just trying to rein it in and, not go too crazy with it. So, yeah.
Oh, cool. I don't know if anyone's seen Jabal's animation, but it's an incredible animator, like, obviously, but this was like a completely different method. Was it your first AI video? Or like first? Yeah. So that's like mind-blowing for me. For me, that's like if you're really good at playing guitar and then you just come out and play a piano, and it's like incredible as well. Yeah, cool. Akil?
Yeah. Is it available to watch anywhere online or?
Yes. Very good question. Very good question.
That was planted.
Thank you, Akil. There's like QR code started about. It actually comes out at 9:00 tonight. It's going to be on the Sunshine Cartel YouTube channel, but it's also going to be released on these guys' channels in the coming days or whenever they do it. So yeah, we want it out. We want everyone to see it. Yeah, but if you want to go on my page, there's like one there on the bar. There's a couple at the back. Yeah, you'll find it. Cool. Any other questions?
Are we going to put it on again?
Yeah, we can watch it again. Yeah? Cool. Thank you, everybody.